Let's see if that will work. I think that's pretty good. Hello, hello. Welcome to the Friday Masterclass. And again, I didn't advertise this one. I'm going to try to get some people to play again, but I wanted to have a couple of them where I'm just practicing. The last 2 weeks, I practiced my students' materials, different hard materials, even just some easier things. Today I want to do just my own practice. I don't have it completely structured out, like I'm going to play this and then this and then this like I have done the last couple of weeks. Instead, I wanted to play some things that I want to play and sort of build my practice session around skills and things that I'm working on that maybe I don't have done yet. I lost the pop filter on this thing, so I will be distracted the whole time, I'm sure, trying to look for it every time I look down. It pops right off every time, and so I apologize if I seem distracted by that. I usually can find it, and I've been looking for the last 10 minutes, and I can't seem to locate it, so it may be RIP pop filter, but anyway, well, regardless. So I'm also streaming again on Twitch and on YouTube, and I should be able to find, I didn't do this yet, I have to find the place where my chat is. There it is, the chat app is what I need. No, just in the browser, please. So that I can see what that looks like. So if you have a question or you want to just say hello, type some stuff in the chat. I would love to see you. And yeah, I think we're ready to go. Sorta, anyway. Actually, I wonder, I'm still learning to do this, as you guys know, and I appreciate your patience with me, that this is just kind of like Gabriel learning to stream kind of stream, right? Oh, Twitch isn't on. Neither of them is on. There we go. Well, now I want to check. Yeah, let's check to make sure Twitch, in fact, is streaming. I am live. Okay, that's good. A long press on my avatar. Okay. Wonderful. It appears that I am live. I guess I could use my phone some to do chat as well, but at any rate, it appears that I am live on both again, so I guess it's working. I checked it earlier and it was. What I'm trying to figure out is how I can see my chat in the way that I want to see my chat, and I don't seem to be able to do that. So I guess I can do this. Oh, that actually worked. Okay. I will have chat up momentarily, and you can chat just right in your your window on either YouTube or Twitch. You can just type it right into there, and it should come to me. So we'll see. If you're here, type some stuff in the chat. But I am going to play. So I decided today I want to just do my own thing and play whatever I want to play. I think we're going to get a little bit of the Hoffman 4 miniatures again. I also brought Shazam, which I'd like to practice. I still want to do a recital this semester. It got away from me a little bit with all the audition days and all that stuff. I'll wait to see if he's back on later, but this is the piece I was talking about that Travis was wondering last week. If that's the other one I meant. It's the Henderson Variation Movements, 1967. These are hard. And I've avoided working on them. And I thought, well, what better thing than to put on the stream how I would actually work on it. The other thing I want to say is if you're not already following him, go check out Tom Hooten on Instagram. He has, first of all, today I think is the last day to sign up for his brass, I think it's Basics Challenge. So go and do that. You're going to learn a lot. He's much smarter than I am. He does a a weekly, or I think it's weekly, it might be daily, but it's like right before this every week. And I'm always like, oh, well, oh no, nobody's going to watch my stream because everybody's going to watch his. But he does these little 2-minute sort of talks about different subjects. Today's subject was overplaying, right? And sometimes, he was talking about that sometimes you can do too much of one thing or just too much overall. And that if you find yourself in that position, then you probably need rest. And that's a way oversimplification of it. Go watch. It's still up on his Instagram, but go do that. It'll take you 2 minutes, and I'm not going to do anything important for 2 minutes. Just go do it right now, and sign up for his thing. Right? I learned more from Tom the couple of times that he came to visit his wife when we were both at DePaul. Me and his wife, that is Jen Murata. I learned more from the very short visits that he made than probably I did in weeks and months around that time. He was so gracious. He would ask me if I, would listen to a list, or he would just talk to me about trumpet stuff, and just to learn from somebody that great. He was in Atlanta at the time, and he's since won a few jobs, and of course is in LA now. And I learned a lot from Jen too. She had a whole career in the Marine Band before she came back for grad school, and so she had just a wealth of things to tell you about and show you, and we had a blast playing together. So, and if you don't have their edition of the Arbenz book, that's the newest version. Although I recommend them. I just don't like that book because the page numbers aren't the same as all the other Arbenz books. So that's you should still get it because the things they say in there are really good. But then use your other Arbenz book to actually play out of, is what I think. So then you just have 2 Arbenz books. That's not bad. I have 5, I think. There's 2, there's one in the other room, there's one here, there's one at school. Right, and then I have the 3 volume version, and I have another one of those at school as well. So that's 5 Arbenz books, although 2 of them are a different Arbenz book. And maybe that's one we'll do on stream. I'll advertise that one so people can know. Anyway, let's play some trumpet. We're going to start with trumpets we shouldn't play, which is bass and alto trumpet. And my goal here, I know I'm out of frame. Oh, I want to get this. So I have this C bass trumpet that is, this is a Selmer, and it's a really beautiful instrument. It's got this kind of gold looking lacquer on it, and super thin bell, and this is basically, it's got a trumpet receiver. See if I brought yeah, I did, good. So it's basically a bass trumpet, but you may know this already. Most bass trumpets are trombone receiver, or at least short shank trombone, and that is because trombone players usually play bass trumpet, and there's a good reason for that. The literature that's written for bass trumpet and alto trumpet is extremely low, and so why would I play one, you say? Well, I don't know. It bothers me that we don't play any low, like we're all obsessed with high notes, but we don't work on our low register, and it's also just cool. If I'm a trumpet player, I want to play all the trumpets, so we're just going to play around on this a little bit. I have to stand further away from the microphones, but we're just going to see what we can get done. Just keeping an eye on things here. Good. So what I like to do, if you have one of these, or you're going to play a strange instrument, the best thing to do is make sure that your normal production is what you start with, and then you can alter things. But start with a good turnaround, right? We haven't really done like masterclass on this stream for a while. So let me actually explain some stuff, right? So the turnaround, we're just breathing in, and the next thing that happens is we're breathing out. We're not holding our breath. We're not preset. We're not getting set up. A lot of people play like this. They go, right? And that time you're holding your breath, you're cutting off your support from the actual air that you're going to use, and you're just taking power away from the air. So what you want is to just go absolute perfect turnaround, so that there's no time you're holding your breath. And as you're doing that, you got to make an embouchure. So, and you can feel just your support absolutely locks in then, and you feel power in the air and into the horn, right? So that's what you want to start with. And then if I get some crazy bad response or a note that I didn't expect, I can adjust from there. What I don't want to do is the opposite, where I try to guess what I want and then try to build it. That's like trying to build a car out of Legos, right? No, what I want is to start with, I'm mixing my metaphors. Maybe we'll say like trying to build a statue out of little pebbles, right? Could be done, but it's going to be a lot of glue and it's not going to be very sturdy. Instead, you start with a big block of solid rock, right? And you chisel away the parts that aren't the statue. And so that's what we want to do. So our big block is our big turnaround. And then we're going to see what we get, and then we'll alter it in order to make it better. So if I had to guess, that's probably an E. Oh, yeah, there's our C, right? So that was not bad. I like an E. But I don't like the delay. Right, that I don't want. That means I'm not really set up right. So and you notice I'll play it a little bit loud some of the time. I just don't want to. I don't want to give it too little air to work. So I'm always a little bit on the loud side when I'm trying something new. See, I'm holding my breath. That's what I shouldn't do. Now I can adjust. Yeah, so I feel okay about that. I don't want to play it too much or too long because this is a bass trumpet mouthpiece. It's going to mess me up if I do it too much. But if I play the trumpet the same way, then it won't, because I'm not playing then by the feel of my lips. I can still get swelling that could be bad, but I'm not playing by the feel of my lips. I'm playing by the feel of the blow, the feel of the whole instrument and all of my apparatus, right, from my support up through my esophagus and my throat and the tongue position and my mouth and my jaw and everything. That's my side of it, and then the whole trumpet side, right? And if I can make that work, I'm going to play the trumpet the same way, even though lots of stuff is going to be different. I might be bigger, open. I might be more closed down in some other place, right? I might be blowing more or less air on different instruments, but the overall way that it works is the same, and then I don't feel my lips. I feel it working, and that's a really important concept, at least to me. So, all right. Let's not play this exclusively, but let's switch back and forth and actually learn something. Sorry, I knew that was going to happen. I need my chair. I need my chair to put this down on. But put this back on, and hopefully it won't fly off again. I should just put like a microphone stand. I don't know what I'm doing. That way, when I walk away, it stays here. Huh. Yeah, what am I thinking? Anyway, we also have the alto trumpet. Oh, it's way over here in the corner. And the alto trumpet is this one is in F. That was C bass. This is F alto. And I'm going to play it still with the bass trumpet mouthpiece. But now what I'm doing is switching horns and trying to find the way that they each work so that I can unify the way that they both work. I know that's a weird way to say it, but that's kind of the best way I have. So, same exact thing. I want to trust that turnaround and make my embouchure as I do it. this C octave, and I want to see if I can get that to work on both horns so that I can just get right into that horn right away, right? So it's a much bigger interval on the longer bass, C bass, which makes sense. I was using valves before to make it, actually that horn, that I was playing G, the smallest amount of tubing, and low G, one of the longest amounts of tubing. So now I'm just playing the same amount. So of course it's going to be different. And this is closer to a natural trumpet because of its length in that way. So it doesn't sound great, but I also don't want to start making, this is a problem we have on all of our trumpets. I don't like the sound of it, so I start making it sound good. And you can do that, and there's nothing wrong with doing that a tiny bit. You know, you want a good quality sound. But if it takes you too much effort to make it sound good, there's some other inefficiency that you haven't really dealt with. Maybe you're pressing too hard. Maybe it's the wrong mouthpiece, or maybe you're just not using your air very well. Whatever it is, but then when you make it sound good, you're using your muscles. You're spending something that has a meter that you're running, and eventually you're going to run out, and then you can't sound good, and that's bad. So what you want instead is to just kind of go at it, but don't make it anything. Just make little adjustments to your coordination and to the parts, and you're not even aware of them. Just kind of trying to sneak sideways into a better sound, right? And something that works better. So I could do this for a long time and not get very far. I want to do it for a little bit of time and get a little far if I can. And then if not, I'll do it again tomorrow and see if I can make some better progress. So while we have them out, let's play them on a regular mouthpiece, right? And see. Now it's going to be very hard for me to get the pedal C, the low C, but I can probably get this instrument's F, right? So this instrument's C, excuse me, F concert. And that's pretty low. It's a little flat. But I'm not, I feel comfortable on that at least. Oops, just hurt my finger there. This has one little sharp part of the spring, and I can't cut it off. I need to roll it down, but I'm afraid I don't have the tools for that, I don't think. So I'm gonna have to get somebody at a repair shop to do it for me. Anyway, so that was F. That was that instrument's C and G, which is going to be this instrument's F and C. All right. It's very hard for me to play any lower than that without really dropping my jaw open, and then I lose the similarity for the rest of the range, and I actually have to reset my embouchure to get back to that other range, and that's something that's not a good habit to get into. So almost play a pedal C, but not quite. And I feel like when I can play that low C on this instrument, it'll be really easy to play pedal C on the C trumpet without moving anything. So that's part of the goal here. The other thing we can do is flexibility, right? See, I can't do that one. We could do this on the F alto. I can almost do that, and then the low C kills me. But I'm close, right? You can hear. This will be a fourth higher. So I could actually do a lot of flexibility, and I could have done this on the bass trumpet mouthpiece as well, and possibly to some great effect. So let's try it. Let me put the bass trumpet away for now. We'll keep the alto out. I'm going to put this down for fear of doing exactly the same thing I did last time. Okay, that's better. And let's make sure nobody, oh, I think maybe somebody, oh yeah, do you ever practice music meant for shorter trumpets on these longer trumpets? That is a great question that the answer is I've tried. We can try it today even. It's a humbling experience because first of all, the transpositions are weird because we're not used to transposing up that much. The most common transposition you do upwards is F trumpet, which is a higher F trumpet on a C trumpet, so you go up a fourth. There are some parts in G that you go up a fifth, playing a C trumpet, playing a trumpet in G, but we generally don't transpose like up to A, for instance, right? There is no high A part that I know of, at least, unless you were going to try to play an A piccolo trumpet part on a C trumpet, but that would just be a bad idea. So we don't. So that's the first obstacle, is that we don't transpose upward the distance that we would need to. So they also are weird transpositions sometimes, like F to B flat, right? If I see a G in the staff, that's my C, right? So I guess that one is actually only up a fourth. That's normal. C trumpet to F is up a fifth, though, and that feels weird because it's the opposite of what it should be. So maybe that's the one that gets me a lot. But then any other part, D trumpet, E flat trumpet, you know, it's like E flat trumpet is a high trumpet, right? So this is an F trumpet. So I'm doing a step transposition, and then also an octave, right? So, and because this is higher, I'm going down a step, up an octave. And it just gets weird, right? But the other part that's humbling is that the partials get so close together, and even when you're playing the right fingering, there's a lot of out-of-tune notes that it's hard to think about what note you're really playing while you're transposing and trying to sight read, sight transpose, I mean. So even when I work on it, I start missing partials because I just can't quite get the intonation right. Because think about, like, but what do you learn from it? You learn really accurate ear training. Like, if you get close on a B flat trumpet, you're going to get the note, unless you're off in some other way, right? And sometimes that happens. If you're not exactly dead on, as they say in, what is it, My Cousin Vinny, dead on balls accurate, right? You're not going to nail it. And it's just like trying to come in on high G. You can't just, like, it's hard to just pick it off. But every note is like that then. Every note is like, try to come in on high F, because regular high C on this instrument, or on the part, is like this instrument's, well, either high F or above, right? So anyway, so let's try this a little bit. All right, that's the regular trumpet mouthpiece. Let's go back to bass trumpets. So you can hear it doesn't sound quite as good on the bass trumpet mouthpiece, and you might think that's strange because it should sound better, right? But it's hard to get your chops to do the same thing on the bigger mouthpiece, and that's why we might do this, because maybe I'm doing too much or holding in too much, and I can do better on the regular mouthpiece, and so maybe I can learn that from the big trumpet. There's a better sound, right? You run out of air real fast doing that. Yeah, I can't get the low notes in that mouth position, but that's not bad. And now if I go over to a B flat trumpet and then try to play that same way, it should all lock in a lot better. Yeah, it's fine. I mean, again, is it make or break? No. If you needed an alto and a bass trumpet to warm up on, everybody would have them, right? And people would make them, and they would be cheaper. As it stands now, nobody has one, and they're not cheap when you run across them usually. Although this one was the ultimate cheap. Somebody gave it to me, and I had it modified a little bit with a trumpet receiver. These actually had a larger receiver. The alto trumpet mouthpiece is a little bit wider shank, and I have one over there, but of course now it doesn't fit this instrument because this shank is a trumpet receiver now. But we have another one that my dad found that is like a pristine. This one obviously has had some work and like there's no lacquer on it, it's just raw. But this one played better, and then the other one looked better. And so we decided to keep that one like museum quality, and then this one we would alter and put, this didn't exist. This is like a pitch finder on this, because this is the second tuning slide, so I had Dr. Valve put a ring on that, and there was something else I got him to do. I can't remember now. No, that was on my other horn. I have an E flat alto down here, so. Oh, well, thank you, Austin. That's very nice of you to say. I try to sound like a professional. What I really want to do in these streams is sound like a professional screwing up, because that sounds different than an amateur screwing up. Usually, when somebody practices, they're going to make mistakes, and so I want to make those mistakes on camera and then fix them like a professional would fix them. So I'm glad that you like my sound. I hope that I also make some really good mistakes in front of you, and that is helpful to whoever's watching the stream. So let's see. Well, I want to play a bunch of trumpets today. That's kind of what I want to do. So while we just talked about it, I haven't gotten this one out in a long time. So, and I have an avalanche of pencil boxes that that I don't really need, but I can't throw away. I'm sure we've all got stuff like that, or maybe it's just me. Oops. Okay, let's see if I can get this open. This is the box that I'm trying to figure out how to open, and yeah, it doesn't like me right now. But let's see. Okay, if I do it up like this, oh, there it goes, and then I was trying to open it upside down. No wonder. So now This is a very cool instrument. I can't believe the valves actually work right out of the box. I don't think even my student who's on here, most likely, I don't think even you've seen this one. But it looks like a B-flat trumpet, right? B-flat, B-flat. They're the same size bell. They're the same size bell bend, right, the crook. They're the same length lead pipe almost, a little longer on the E-flat. But you might notice it is just a B-flat trumpet plus this entire length of tubing, right? The entire length of the horn, extra, wrapped double. So it comes out the bell here, or sorry, it comes out the valves here, and it goes up all the way around and then into the bell. And that's why it's in E-flat instead of B-flat. And then, of course, all the valves themselves had to be longer to be in the key of E-flat. So this is a low E-flat alto trumpet. It comes with this awful mouthpiece, like a cornet mouthpiece. I'll play it a little bit. I've also had this modified. I got a pinky ring put on, which I regret now because I don't use it there anymore. I want it further out. But and then I got, let's see, I got something broken. Oh yeah, I got this broken off and then put back on with new pipes so that I could pull that out because it was just, you couldn't clean it. So. So it has sort of a fogophone sound to it with the right mouthpiece. But it's not meant to play low, actually. It's meant to play normal stuff like so this is an instrument that would have, this is from the 1930s. This is a con. Am I right about that? I'm trying to make sure. I haven't played it in so long, I've forgotten. Yeah, it's a con. This is a con. This is actually the 48B before they renumbered everything in the 40s. So this is the 1932 48B, which is the model number for their E-flat alto. And this is one of very few in the whole world, actually. There are three that I know of on the Con Loyalist website, including this one, and they all are entirely different designs. They have some overlap, but they're totally different horns. So I like this one because it's just a B-flat trumpet with extra tubes on it. And that is a kind of interesting bridge. So that's what we want to do with these instruments, like we said before, is bridge the gap, right? So I can play this with a bass trumpet mouthpiece, like I did before, and it brightens it up a little bit, makes it a little different, right? Still a little flat in the low register, but I haven't played in a long time. I'm not used to it. And it sort of doesn't have a receiver in there. It has like a little lip in there, but not the same as a normal thing. And look how big this gap is. It's like a centimeter extra gap because you're not supposed to play it with a modern mouthpiece. You're supposed to play it with that one. This one we did leave the receiver unaltered, although the Con Loyalist guys were mad at me about putting this on and breaking this. And I regret it now a little bit, to be honest. But that's because I really wanted to play an alto trumpet with trumpet ensembles and things like that. And this was the first one I had. I bought this from a friend of mine for $500, which was an amazing price. But yeah, I really wanted to play the instrument, and so I had to get it up to pitch. It was too flat. It's still too flat, actually. But it was too flat, and it wasn't playable with other instruments. And I wanted to play it with other instruments. I didn't know about the Bach yet, and I wouldn't have one for another 5 or 6 years. So I did a lot of working out on this horn. But when you put a regular mouthpiece in it, problem is you can't tune like D and, you know, I mean, I can pull out the third valve slide a little bit. Oh, it probably won't pull right now. Ugh. No. But I can pull out the first valve and the third valve a little, but I can't do it on the fly. So that's another, problem with this instrument. But anyway, so we could play something. Let's see. Let's get an excerpt out. So Ein Heldenleben is a good one. Where are you? S for Strauss. S. There's Don Juan. There's Ein Heldenleben. So there's B flat parts and E flat parts on this, right? So what you might have played this on this type of instrument. It would have been an earlier version that was much larger bell and the same length, obviously, but probably even a little bit larger bore and with a totally different mouthpiece than this. But that's kind of what these are. So, and you really get schooled. Let's see if I can play some of this. Oh. It's hard to start because the length of the horn kicks on you, so you really got to be accurate. Oh boy, no, that's too low, isn't it? Right. See how hard it is? I mean, it's not very good. Yeah. Oh, yeah, lame, no trumpet emoji. There is a trumpet emoji. Maybe not on Twitch, though, huh? All right, so that's but what do we learn from that? I'll leave it sort of open. Maybe we'll come back to it. I would play this on C trumpet for sure. But the C trumpet is just going to feel like the slots are a mile wide now, but not any harder. In fact, easier because we're playing a shorter horn. So let's see. Now I got to untranspose that. Oh, what's that? So I mean, it's still a lot of work, but this is so much better of a sound, and it's so much less back pressure that I'm fighting that like I actually have to be careful not to blow too hard into it because I don't need to, right? So, yeah, that's too bad. There should be a trumpet emoji in Twitch, although I don't know who else would use it. There's like one other person who plays trumpet on Twitch, as far as I know. I haven't looked extensively, but yeah, if there are more, I want to meet them. But anyway, so yeah, and you can see if I go back, I don't want to put too many horns on a chair. If I go back, I'm basically playing almost an octave higher, right? Oh, sorry. I mean, it's just all over the place. So you can practice this. The way to do it, if you have one, is to play much, much softer on this horn. And really work on stuff like that. And then when you play the C trumpet again, put this down, trying to be very careful not to wreck this very historic instrument. Let's see. Oh, that's wrong. Yeah, that's right. Then you can open up a little more, but you've got the coordination to get it just exactly right. And you got to remember, the notes are the notes. So the difference between the notes is not going to change based on what horn you're playing. It's just the possibility for slight error increases as you go up the partials, up the overtone series. So we're playing super high on the E flat alto, and we're playing super in the middle, but like low overtone series on the C trumpet. And so I want to practice getting my, I'm thinking tongue position, right? But you can think whatever you want. I'm getting the coordination of the notes against one another, and then when I play the C trumpet, it's all just going to lock in, and then I can blow a little harder and I can get away with it. Or I can not blow a little harder, as the case may be. So we're going to put that E flat away, E flat alto away, just because, first of all, I don't want to keep playing big horns all day because I won't be able to play tomorrow. And secondly, it smells bad. That this instrument, being from as early as it is, the case is just a little musty, and my hands have a little bit of like brass mold smell to them. And some people are allergic, like deathly allergic to brass mold, and so those people don't like me because I have a lot of old musty instruments. Okay. There we go. Smash those pencil cases back where they belong. So, but that doesn't mean we're not going to play old instruments. That just means that that one's done. So what are we going to play? Well, of course, we're going to play the French bassin. I love this horn because it's taught me more about efficiency. So what if it was important for us to have that tongue position and all that kind of stuff figured out, in fact, this one we can do different mouthpieces as well. So I like the straight 7 in this usually. Actually, we're going to play the 8. Yeah. This is the old New York 8 because it just fits better in this horn. And this is already in C. We might try 2 different versions of C on this, but we'll keep playing this excerpt. And what I have to learn from this, if I just blow hard like I did on this horn, it'll give me a bad result on this in a different way, than it would on the E flat alto. On the E flat alto, I'm going to miss notes. It'll crack all over the place, as you heard, right? If I blow too hard, it just cracks. And so I have to get my tongue position exactly right. Same exact thing on this horn, except now if I blow too hard, it won't crack. It'll just sound bad. It'll just be like a bad, like, kind of like strain. And I can show you. I'll just play that way. You see, it's got like a kind of sound to it. It's bad. So what I have to do is learn the exact right tongue position the same way I did on the E flat, and it's going to be very close to the same tongue position. But I can't blow that hard, so I have to make the volume up some other way. Those notes are really flat on this horn. Let's try the other configuration. But you can hear, right, I'm getting a much fuller sound than I was, and I'm blowing not even half as much. So what we do to convert this to other C is we change the tuning slide to the low pitch C slide, but as you might have noticed, I took out the receiver bit. So now I have a shorter lead pipe that is then a longer tuning slide. And usually this is the best way it plays. Yeah, I can get more volume on this setup for some reason. out, but if you blow too hard, it's still bad. So I'm really laying into those Fs, but I'm getting a little bit of kick. The horn is bucking me a little bit. So now I want that same feel. Oh boy. So yeah, lots of loud playing today so far, which I'm going to pay for on the back half of this class. This may also go a little shorter because I don't want to just play stuff at you for 2 hours, even though that's what I always do, but I have a reason to do it other days. This is just me choosing things, right? So this horn really can be a powerful tool, especially because it has great color control, and it doesn't have great intonation control, or I shouldn't say that. It doesn't have great intonation built in, but you can control it to some degree, and that can be a different powerful tool to learn all this stuff. I'm saying a lot today because I'm thinking about what I'm going to do next instead of just staying in the moment. So let's see. Do we want to do any more of this? There's a really great lick that I like doing a lot. We haven't played the low lick, which is the one you'd expect me to play on the alto trumpet, but now it's too late. We've already done it. Well, I guess we can play it. We can play the B-flat trumpet, though, right? And maybe this is another cool... I can't play a low F on that, can I? That's too bad. So this is a bad lick because you have to play trombone a little during this. If you don't already know this. Yeah, I'm sure you do. Nobody wants to hear trumpet for 2 hours, but it's nice of you to say so. So. But now you got to play a pedal F. And then a D. Those are the notes. So, you know, what do you do? Do you go... Is that how you do it? Or do you start with it out? That's probably the best way, but you still have to be ready to adjust it, because if you just leave it all the way out, which I got to be careful it doesn't fall on the floor, then it's like a quarter tone flat, right? The low F sounds great. The D is a little bit flat, but not noticeably. So you really have to hold it here. So that's the angle. You have to memorize that. And then, and I know this is like dumb, but you have to memorize this angle and then that, but not let go of it so that you can bring it back in for the next section, right? So that's what you have to do is like... Oh, sorry. And I'm still not playing nearly as loud. I'm just trying to get this thing done, right? So I would do that on the Besson, except it doesn't have a low F. You can't play that low on it. The third valve has to be the right length. So we could play Heldenleben all day, but that's not really what we're all about today. I do want to do a little bit of Hoffman for miniatures, because I need to do it. And it's not going to be the one that's helpful to my student, but he's not watching right now anyway, as far as I know. I guess I can't tell who is and isn't here anymore. It sort of tells me where people are, but I still can't. This new system, I can't really tell where people are. So Or how many people? You don't like what either? Not being able to tell. Oh, not, yeah. You can spam the chat. Don't worry. No, important people are not watching, and if they are, then good for them. But these masterclasses are not for important people because they already know all this stuff. So don't worry about it. So what do I want to practice today? Well, this really bad and dumb second movement. It's not dumb. It's an amazing piece of music, but there's a couple of licks that never stick with me. So I'm going to work forwards through this piece today, and I want to see if I can just work out all the bad stuff. Man, it really smells like brass mold. Ugh. I should just go wash my hands, but I'll do it afterwards. These horns need to be washed anyway, so. Oh boy, that doesn't feel good at all. This is what I can't. This is bad lick number one. That's how I have to think about it. Dugga 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 da dugga da. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes. So I can do it in 1, 2, 3, and a 4. There's not an and to that 4, but there's railroad tracks, so it doesn't matter. Well, it'll be clear that you know me. This is going to sound this part of the stream to somebody watching later is going to sound like a lunatic, because I just stop and look and then just say words that don't make any sense. So, but yeah, anybody who doesn't know me and that you know me, yeah, people absolutely do. I'm explaining. It's my stream. I can do what I want. But yes, I think it will be abundantly clear that you in the chat know me. Otherwise, you would be awfully familiar to just randomly start like peppering me with comments and questions and suggestions and support. So, and then the way that I respond will give them all of the social cues they need to know all of that. So I would not worry about it. Anyway. I'm holding that too long. And the reason it doesn't stay is it looks like it goes up, even though I've written in things to make sure that I know it goes down. It doesn't help me. Also, I've written in things I need to erase, actually. Let's find an eraser. Here. Oh, this is a good one. Nanodia in B. There's diamonds in there. Real ones, apparently, but you can't see them. But I was thinking about this as 1, 2, 3, 1, and 1, 1, 2, 3, 2, and 3 end. And that is no longer the way we are doing it. So I have to be careful and just erase the parts that are wrong now. That's why I should have copied this part before I made markings in it. Yeah, I'm just going to do it in 4/4 with a missing half beat that we don't need to know about. Okay. That's not bad. Are we at 126? Probably not. No, not even close. All right, we'll do it with a metronome. Yeah, fine. It's at least there. I can clean it up, but let's move on. Oh, boy. Oh boy, it hurts. That part's fine. It's not sounding great, but I did play a lot of low stuff just a second ago, huh? Okay, here's the other one. I'll get into it. It's so stupid. It's such a stupid lick. That's the lick. Let's see. So we're going. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh boy. Okay. So I have markings in this one that are wrong too. No wonder I can't play this piece. You marked the wrong things in the last time. You can't possibly. I marked 3 beats in this measure, so I was thinking, but it's not that. The first thing is faster than the rest of the things. I should show you this. See if I can get it somewhere on there. So you should. I'm waiting for the stream to catch up to see if I've got it anywhere nearby. Yeah, it's that last thing at the top, very top corner of your left page, and it's a 5/16 bar starting with a triplet that is 30-second notes, and the rest of it is also duplet 30-second notes. But what it doesn't explain is that the triplet is worth 2, which I guess is normal. So the triplet, you're basically fitting 3 into the space of 2, right? But it's easy to see this because of the beaming as 3 equal beats, but it's 5/16, so they can't be equal. So it's actually 1/2 of a beat and then 2 equal beats in, I guess, 2.5, 4, 8, 2.5, 8, right? Let's put that, actually, that's fun. 2.5 over 8. So if you're going, right, this is our 8th note, then I'm going to go, yeah, and so somehow I have to fit in at that speed. So those are all the same. So that's that's not going to help me to think about it that way, right? Yeah, I'm smart. Good thing I'm so smart at confusing myself, and also it won't work. So maybe not so smart. Good at wasting time thinking I'm smart is a better way to put it. And not just me and this person here interacting, like giving myself crap about this, but actually, like, be careful about this in your practice. If you're watching this and you're listening to me do stuff like this, it's fun to think about, right? 2.5, 8 is a fun thing to sort of figure out and work on, and maybe you can be idealistic about, like, I'd love to be able to play that exactly right someday, but maybe it's not playable. Maybe Hoffman didn't make something that is playable for us, right? And then I talked to my dad about this lick for like 20 minutes one day, and he was like, "Oh, it's just a jazz lick." And so that's what I was doing before, is I was going, right? Which is so you need to get that needs to be there, and then the middle part is like, well, just try, right? So it's all this, and I got to get the gestures right and the fingerings down, and that's what I'm sort of struggling with. The rest of the piece isn't really all that hard. I'm also struggling with this first valve yet again. Yeah, hey, Dad. Hoffman it is. I was just explaining that if you call it a jazz lick, but that's not. It's still not satisfying to me to just kind of wing it through there. I really want to get the right fingerings, but I don't think it's really possible at the tempo he asks us to go. And so if that's the case, then, you know, I can idealize about it and intellectualize around it all I want, but I'm still going to have to play something there when I play this piece, right? So, oh boy. So there's like a quarter speed version. I think I want to land on that. It's not accented, but right? It's all going to there. Phrase mark there. Yeah, fine. Oh boy. It's hard to just look at it, and I don't know what to do about that. I guess just memorize it and don't look, right? Yeah, not bad, I guess. I don't know. What do you think, Dad? Is that approximato enough that it sounds like the right lick, even though it's definitely not even half of the fingerings? I think it sounds okay that way. I wish it was really playable. For me, I don't know, maybe somebody can play it. I'd love to hear. You know, I bet there's is there a Tom Stevens one? He always does like those impossible licks and somehow gets every single note to come out. At least in the Henza, he does. Which reminds me, actually, I should show you my I have them right over there. My Henza memorabilia, my ephemera. But yeah, maybe I'll play Henza a different week and show all that stuff off. All right, let's see if I can get through all this. Have to copy this one day. I missed that B, that's stupid. All right, that's good for a little while. Do the chunking you do with jazz like reverse add. Yeah, I've done it a bunch. It's just that it's too fast. I can do, right? I can get it a little, right? Right, it's the right, so it's got to be 1/16 note worth of time. Yeah, that's right, 1/16 worth of time for the first triplet, and then you've got to slow back down to 2 notes per 16th note, and that's what's not really clicking for me, and also that it's like right, that amount of time is it's too many notes to try to too many notes to take a few out, right? It's too many notes to do. So if I'm going, right? It's just too many things to do. I mean, that sounds close to it. It's just, but I know that the middle 5 notes are absolutely not the right notes. So it's on the top G, chest, like, I guess you mean, it's on the top G. So yeah. It's not actually that slur is not the problem. It's the F sharp to the C sharp, which I do sometimes tongue. Right? It's just the too many notes. I could spend 5 hours on this, and it's always going to sound like. You know, so it's like you said, it's a jazz lick that I should not obsess over. But I mean, if I spend 5 minutes on it every day, slowly, and I really understand, I think the problem is that I don't understand the sound of it, and so my fingers can play at the right intervals, but I just don't. I couldn't sing it if I wanted to, and that's the problem. So we'll do it. Yeah, cheat like me. Yeah, I always say there's no cheating in music, as long as it's exciting and pretty and or one of those things, musical, then there is no cheating, right? For sports, there's cheating because you want people to be on an equal playing field, but there's no cheating in music because we're not competing. Hopefully, I mean we do compete sometimes, but more like as a reason to give somebody a bunch of money or a trumpet or something, not like the world record or something like that. So yeah, so I always say there's no cheating in music. That way if somebody's like, well, yeah, you can play with a shallow mouthpiece, but that's cheating. Well, does it sound good? Is it accurate? Is it better because you played it? That's not cheating. Yeah, we should. I just was asking. I didn't know if he was still alive or not. I don't know anything else by him, so I didn't have a reference. But anyway, that's what I wanted to work on in Hoffman. Now, I guess since we're here, we can do some Henderson variation movements. Dad, since you're here, you can help me. I was just saying that this one's really hard. This is last time I streamed. Oh, and it's not 4, it's 5. I should have known that. But that these are so much harder to learn than the Hoffman because of how it's written, more or less. It's not even that the piece is all that much harder. It's just it's hard to look at. So, like for instance, the second movement. Oh, it goes Ataka into the third movement? Well, that's even worse. But the second movement has these like grace note looking notes that I guess are supposed to be subtone, like comparatively. He doesn't give you instructions on it though, right? It's just that the other ones are accented. And he sometimes gives you some dynamics, but again, just more hard stuff to. This is just like the Antile all over again, where there's a lot of interpretation that goes into it, and it's hard to know what the right answer is all the time, right? So, somebody's calling me from Greenville. Well, hope you can leave a message. So, this one I am going to learn from the end, and we probably won't get all the way through it, but I'll try to get about halfway through, just kind of to the recap-y looking part. It's up a step recap, right? Yeah. Is it perfect up a step recap? Appears so. Yeah. So that's where we're looking for. If you have this piece at home, nobody does, so I don't know why I'm even telling you. It's very fast. 168 it looks like. Oof. Oh boy. Okay, so our first lick is bad. It's very bad. That's what we have to do at this tempo. It's a 6/8 bar, so huh. That's the third movement. So that's the interval. I'm going to play a C every time if I don't really program it. And this actually would be a cool one to do transposed on the alto trumpets just to get really accurate, but I put them away and I don't think it's going to go super well if I do get them out right now. So what's our goal tempo? Right? Let's see. Well, that's not right. That's how bad this one is, right? Oh, whoops. That's not bad, actually. This one I can get. See, this one is intelligible to me. I can actually understand it. So we've spent all this time on one lick. This is going to be another one where we have to do the eighth note, but we don't have a metronome that goes fast enough to do 146. 346. I don't have a metronome that goes that fast, so we'll just have to wing it. Oh, and here's something that's good. We get to retard, poco retardando it's written right here. I missed it because it's on the first half of the bar. So we can actually, we're actually only going 144 by the end, because that's what the next movement is. Oh boy. Oof. All right. I'm going to take a rest for a second before I beat myself up. And you can tell when you need to stop because your tongue starts to get tired. And that's when it's like, okay, well, my lips aren't tired yet, but my tongue is, and that means I'm probably not going to do very well. But yeah, this piece is really hard. And I imagine that it's not unlike Shazam, which I also have loaded up here, in that once you learn it, it's harder to forget it because it took you so long. And it seems like the intervals are intelligible to me better. We could play a little bit of the beginning, maybe. That'd be fun. Actually, let's approach it from both sides of where we wanted to go. Oh boy. Maybe not. All right, so let's sing it. sounds too easy. It's not. Dum, bum, bum, ba, dum, ba, 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 ba. Very good. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Da, da, da. Yeah, high E flat. That's not gonna be easy. It doesn't. You don't have to play it. It's down an octave too. But all right, let's just play those notes. Oh, sorry. And then we get into this new stuff that falls into where we already practiced, right? So that's this piece. It's hard, like I said, and I've only played the louder eighth notes of the 5/8 and left out all the middle ones. So you're actually playing constantly this whole time, but two different colors, and I'm also playing about half time, right? So that's how. I mean, but what is a better approach for me to hack through this and just go? Right, that's how people normally approach it, and then they just do the same mistakes over. Right, and they kind of stumble through it, or they'll go. Right, and they'll not even stumble through it, but they'll just get stuck on a spot. But there's no brain work going on, right? They're just trying to get it with their eyes and not with their ears, and not really practicing anything good. And I'm very guilty of that. I do that still to this day. I probably did it in this session and didn't even recognize it, right? But what's better to do is take it apart in a way that makes it intelligible. Like I was saying on the Hoffman, I'm not going to get that nasty lick no matter how much I practice it unless I practice it right. And what is right to me is whatever it takes to get me to hear it and be able to, even if I vocally can't sing it, I need to be able to sing it, so to speak, right? Not in a literal sense if it's that fast, but my fingers need to be able to do that, and my ear needs to understand it as a rhythm and as a set of pitches. And if I can't do all of that, then I'm absolutely not going to play it ever. And so I might get lucky, but and it's okay to use the trumpet to find some of those things, right? If I want to find an interval like I've been doing here, and I'm not sure, I can use it to help me do my ear training, right? Okay, great, I got it. I knew it was a fifth, so that was easy with outside of context. But how about, okay, starting here. Da, 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 da. Yeah, good. So now I'm just singing, those are, again, the outside notes, the loud notes. So let's see if we can get, oh, sorry, that's the wrong spot. Okay, here we go. Let's look at So that's how fast this goes. So I could probably do it a bar at a time that way if I slowed each bar down and make sure I get all the notes in it, right? Da, 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 da. Yeah, there we go. Da, 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 da. Yeah, so this is back to my old sing it half tempo, play it half tempo, sing it full tempo, play it full tempo. It ends up being a really quick, easy way to learn it well, and then you can play it now, and so now you can really. And you can hear, if you listen carefully there, I didn't hear that F sharp very well, and so it came out kind of in between. That's no good. That's not too bad, but I haven't practiced it yet, so. Da, 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 da. Da, da, da. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Yeah, I don't really hear it, you can tell. So this is how you'd have to work through this, right? Bar by bar by bar by bar, forever and ever. It's going to take forever to learn this, but it sounds cool, right? It's a cool. I can't wait to hear how all this works together. I'm going to be like maybe too excited to actually play it well when if the first time I start to get it, I'll probably like self-talk myself out of it. I'll be like, oh my God, it's working. Crash and burn. But this is how you have to work on these pieces, right? Otherwise, you never ever get them. They just can't come out. I mean, the third movement, by contrast, is just a bunch of scaly kinds of things. So that's going to take me a lot less time to learn. But what if I want to play the whole piece, you know? I mean, and the third movement. Well, I mean, I can hear it's kind of ascending and doing different whole tone scales and whatever. That's not like this. You know, this. That's a totally different sound. So if I want to play stuff like this, I got to spend the time to play stuff like this, whatever that means. And if it's the less intelligible, like this isn't a kind of thing that I practice every day, so it's going to be harder for me. But if you do practice stuff like this every day, it's not going to be hard at all, comparatively. Now, on the other hand, if you don't practice your scales, number 3 is going to be extremely hard because it's also totally unintelligible, right? It's going to take you a long time, but you can do it. It's the same thing. And then once you've done that a lot, like this set of intervals is very strange sounding to me because I haven't been playing this kind of music for a while. But even if I had, this might be totally unique. It doesn't sound totally unique. I should be a little better than I am, but then once you get into the ear part of this piece, into the interval structure of the piece, then you can kind of, you already know what to expect. Like I already said, this is up a step from the beginning, so we should be able to pretty quickly. Da, 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 da. See, that's just the same as, but just down a step, right? That's a different interval, isn't it? No, it's not. And maybe it's easier actually to learn the first part first and then just transpose it all up a whole step because it's lower when I'm learning it. So that's maybe, now I have a better strategy because we sort of played around with it. And there's this middle section that sort of starts to have some material from the ending. But that's all you get, right? And that happens here. Oh, it's the same notes too. That's cool. Yeah, so all the way through to there, it's the same. And so, and this is kind of how you might analyze this piece. Analysis is what I almost tried to say. So there's a kind of a coda here, right? This part here, I'm just putting sort of like a parenthetical brackets around the parts that are the same for me, right? So that's what we just discovered. And then I know that up to this D flat, let's keep looking to see if these are the same or different. Oh, okay, so good. So now we're breaking it down. This is good news. Okay, I'm not explaining what I'm looking at, and so that's, again, very bad streaming. And since there are still a couple people actually watching, I should demonstrate it at least, right? So, okay, we've already determined the beginning goes. Right, and then the recap, the sort of second part, is up a step from there. And I'm not doing the color change very well right now, but it's all the way up until you go up for in the first part it's a D flat, in the second part it's that E flat that we played, and then there's a pause. There's a 2/8 bar and a breath mark. And then the next part, oh, I didn't actually mark the second part of it. The next part is 5/8 again, and it's actually a literal perfect copy, right? So actually, I can make that first bracket that I mentioned bigger. They did leave a voicemail. Good for them. All right. So this part here. That's all exactly the same at the beginning and at the end. Here's some more news. Sounded familiar, right? That's because that is an octave displaced copy. Is that right? Yeah. A sometimes octave displaced copy of the original statement in the original key. So, let's do it bar by bar. This is the beginning. Oh, sorry. That's the first bar. Now this is the second phrase, you might say. That E flat is in the wrong octave, but okay, next bar. Yeah, that F sharp is in the wrong octave now, right? Oh, this is hard now. So that's a different note. All right, so now we've got some new notes. Interesting. Where did I hear that before? Where do we have an ascending or descending minor seventh from the beginning? Nowhere? I thought we did have one. No, I guess not. I'm just looking through. So, okay. So it changes there, and that's interesting. All right. That F sharp is in the wrong octave from the beginning, but then the next three bars are different bars. Let's check them still. Sort of a, it's like we're a note behind now. that next bar is, yeah, not really the same, right? This sounds like this bar here, right? And it is that bar down a half step. Oh, I get it. Yeah, okay, all right, got it. Now we got it. So this is a wrong octave, right? But this is also the wrong octave. So we get 2 bars of the original with wrong octave downbeats. And then we get a transposed down a half step first 3 bars. Yeah. That's where we get it from. Right? It just does, it looks like a sharp 6 because it's a, yeah, because it's a flat and a sharp. And that's why I couldn't find the 7th. But there it is. So that's great. Where did I just leave off? And we get that where? Well, probably next, right? Yeah, so it's down a half step. So this is I like this kind of analysis. You guys might hate this, but so okay, we'll call this P1 or P0 rather, P0, right? And it goes from here to here. We didn't actually finish it, so we'll finish learning P0, but then this is going to be P0, and then we'll circle the 8VB notes. But that also becomes P11, right? Because it's transposed 11 half steps higher, which makes it a half step lower. And we get P11 for 3 bars. And there's some elision there then, right? Because we got P0 with the wrong first notes, and then we get P11 starts on one of those wrong octave notes. And so there's elision, which hangs this piece together nicely, I bet, once we actually hear it played all the way through. And then we've got this. Then there's a middle section which we haven't played at all, and we haven't played any information from, or any materials from. Let's go ahead and play that. That one we can probably play. And now we're back to, oh, okay, we haven't done this either. This is going to be P10, I think. Ooh, that's the wrong. I wonder if that's supposed to be. Well, we'll find out, right? Let's play it a little. 1, 2. So we get one kind of screwed up bar 1, right? We get this. It's not even loud. And that's the same as. I'm just kind of hacking now a little bit, but I'm trying to show you how this piece goes together. So Yeah, I guess that's our transition back to the top, right, where we have the transposed. So let's call this one is P2, right? Because it's a whole step higher. I don't know if we have any inversions. I didn't look to see if the things that are different are just inversions yet. That might be an interesting thing to find out later. But at least we got something worked out, right? We know that this big, long 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bar thing does repeat a whole step higher. So call that. And then this is going to be P0 again. P0 for a couple of bars. Is it a bunch of bars or what? Same bars. This is where it gets wrong, right? Yeah. So that's all that. And then we should go, this should go, so I need, it's a note earlier that I need to cut off. So where do we have an ascending minor third between two bars? The beginning. So how much you want to bet? This is yep. That is that is bar 2 of P11, which we've already done, right? Yeah, we did P11, so this is bar 2 of P11. No, I've gotten it wrong yet again. It does the same thing, and now it makes more sense, right? Because if we cut off from P0, right, then it's the same again. This is P11. That's P11. Yeah, for 3 bars. And then it goes back into our right? Okay, so I don't know, this might be the most boring thing if you're not looking at the music, but this is what you really should be doing when you're practicing is, you know, if I need to rest, I start thinking about the music. That way I can try, if I mark it the right way, then I can, it's more intelligible, and then I don't need to practice it as much by ear as I do, or rather, I don't need to practice a whole bunch of totally different licks. I'm playing the same lick in different keys, and I can do that by ear a lot better. I know, oh, this is the beginning, right? Okay, great. Oh, this is just like the second bar of the transposed beginning, right? And if I label them as such, then I go, oh, this is just the beginning down a half step. Oh, this is just the beginning up a whole step, right? That kind of thing. So now I've broken this down. I've got the lyrical middle section. I don't even call it lyrical, but this section in the middle that has 4 eighth notes tied together and 1 eighth note at the end as sort of its main rhythm. That's not going to give me too much trouble. I've got this repeated lick 3 times that goes da 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 da, right? Da da dum, something, and it comes next. So that I need to practice, right? We're going to do that one because the last note's different every time. That's what I'm not getting. That's really bad. Let's see, how fast is this again? Oh, it didn't do it again. that's our speed, right? Boy, this is going to be nasty. Let's do this one. Whew, it's still going to be hard, right? But now the only thing we haven't looked at all is the coda ending. So let's see if it's really a coda or if I'm just making a different mistake. Oh, there's something there. Okay, well. Yeah, that's right. So a lot of strange notes. Let's see if we can make them intelligible. That's a sequence right there, right? Up. Where do we have that before? No, we won't really get that exact thing. But it has to do a little bit with our initial, it's got the same sound, the same shape to it, right? And the two notes on the edges, like they normally are eighth notes, and then in between are doubled 16th notes, right? And this actually, we can tie this to, I bet we can tie this to the pitch content somewhere else. I'm just trying to, I haven't played enough of it. That's that middle section, just playing the pitches in order. How about? I can hear it. There's some retrograde stuff happening in there. I just can't, I don't know that this is, I wouldn't call this a tone row because it's not, there's too many repeated notes, but maybe it is serial in the sense that it's not a full 12 tone row, but it might be a 5 tone row, right? That would make sense. And that, again, how would you determine that? You need to read a lot about serial music. If you think it's serial in that way, then you need to figure out how to analyze that. The first thing I would do, if I thought it was a 5 tone row, then I would sit down and do vector analysis. A vector analysis is every interval that's within a set of notes, right? So, and you label it, it doesn't matter the transposition. So a sixth and a third are the same as long as they're the same number of half steps between the pure pitches. So in this case, I see G, E, A, F, and C. So that's E, F, G, A, and C. I put it in you can just put it in closed order, right? I think that's the smallest one. Probably is the smallest one. So it's a scale basically missing the B, right? That's where it is. Now, if I do that again, I can already tell, I think, let's see, we've got E, E flat, E, F, A flat, A. I think that's also the small, yeah, it's in the fourth. So that's got a lot more half steps in it, right? That's the second bar is, right? So that's, those are the notes in there. So that's all half steps, basically. So this one, that doesn't have nearly as many half steps. So it can't be what I thought. It's got to at least be 2 different rows. Or maybe that's one 10-tone row. But it can't be, right? Because there's an F that repeats. So now I definitely have at least 2 sets of notes. And if I did a vector analysis of each bar, that might be one good way to. The hard part is deciding if it's 1 bar or 2 bars, or if there's elision. Do I count this note twice? Right? That's what's really hard about this. If without a guide, a lot of times the composers will tell you the row if there is one, and they'll write it out at the beginning of the piece, or like on the jacket cover, right? So, wow, I can't believe I didn't lose everybody watching when I started talking about tone row analysis. And that I didn't even really talk about. It's not. I didn't even do a 12 tone or a interval class, class set analysis. I just talked about vector analysis, which really is more exploratory for me at least. But all right, we haven't played like 4 bars of this whole piece yet. So let's play those bars. Let's figure those out. Oh boy, it's hard. Yeah. And I'm going to take that breath mark as almost a railroad tracks, because then the next thing I get is that P0 again. So I want to break there. Let's see if we can play all of it a little too slow. A lot too slow, excuse me. Now my third valve's going to stop cooperating, of course. If you've been to the stream before and heard me say, I need to clean this trumpet, and if I haven't cleaned it by next week, that might be what we do. I still haven't cleaned it. I've been teaching lessons a lot, and it's been sort of behaving, so I just didn't think of it. But now I'm thinking of it. All right, one more try. It's just hard to start on that third eighth note, you know? Good. Oh boy. Hardest lick did not stay for the probably 40 minutes I've been playing this piece, right? It just went right away. And we're close, but so anyway, that's what let's see. So we'll call it 90. That's probably a little conservative, but we're going to say 90 for now and leave it at 90 for now. I don't need to practice this all day. I need to practice it more, but Not right now. So right now we're going to just very lightly mark 90 quarter. I could make it eighth notes, but since I can't follow the eighth notes all the way to, like I said, 336, it's not going to help me to mark 180 instead for now. It's essentially half tempo for me right now, right? But I can practice it now in sections, get those sections in better. You could hear I lost the ear part in the P2 section, and so I stopped being. It was actually when it went back to P0 and 11 that I sort of. Oh no, it wasn't actually. It was the end of the P2 section, which makes sense because those 4 bars are the 4 bars I have played the least today. So, I definitely played some today though. I can tell you that much. Yeah, my lip is hanging in there, but there we go. So there's a little bit of the Henderson variation movement, second movement. The first movement doesn't look too bad, although the intervals are still going to be challenging. And again, like I said before in other streams, it might behoove you in these cases to play the piece from left to right, top to bottom, only because they might introduce interval structure that will help you learn the more technical parts. So I didn't do that today. We did a deeper analysis of one movement, but we might find a lot of the stuff in. It doesn't really matter. If you start with the second movement and you learn a lot, then the first movement's going to be easier. But sometimes the composer is introducing those materials in order when you play the whole piece for the audience's benefit, and that makes it easier for our ears as well. So that's something to consider. All right, we've played C trumpet, B flat trumpet, French Besson C trumpet in 2 different configurations. Let's play something else. We haven't played piccolo yet, and that might be a good idea, although I did play some piccolo last stream and this morning, so I think we can skip it for today. You've heard me play piccolo before. You've heard me play plenty of E flat, but I haven't played E flat today, so we are going to do that. And if I can reach it, yeah. And we'll use our normal mouthpiece. Oh, I should just put OBS in front. Then I can see what I'm doing, and then I can also see your comments. All right. Again, probably one that needs to be cleaned soon. But last time we did sort of E flat C sound alike. This time I'm going to use this French Besson C to get the right kind of efficiency in tongue position. And then I'm going to play, what do I want to play today on E flat trumpet? You know what? Let's pick an etude that I don't know off the top of my head. We're going to play a Saxa etude. I know a lot of these, but we're going to play a Saxa. That's not too. I don't want something that's too terribly technical. And I don't want something that goes too high either, because that's going to be a disaster on E flat if I read it even as written. And most of these are designed to be transposed upward. I know that one, though. I can't do that one. What I'm looking for is ones that say transposed to A and A flat, because you're supposed to use a B flat trumpet to play these. Well, that one said E flat. It's sort of could be a challenge. Okay, well, we'll do that one as written. I was going to transpose. I like to transpose, but yeah, we'll do this one. Why not, right? And what we're doing is we're going to try to get the tongue position, like I said, from the C trumpet. So I'm going to transpose on the C and then not transpose on the E flat. Oh, there's a low E in it. Well, we just won't play that note. We'll have to take that up an octave. I'll look at it when I get there. Ooh, that's flat. That's where it's supposed to be. I guess it's just flat. just trying to get the sound on this one. I'll play it on the other one, but that's probably enough, right? That's right. It's so hard to transpose an E sharp up in a minor third. I need to just remember, it's not an E sharp, it's an A flat for me. I just didn't even play it right, but that's fine. We got the sound. And I'm just going to try to make it feel like that and sound like that, right? But it's kind of the same. Let's see if we like that same thing on the other C trumpet, right? Just to make sure that we're playing with our best sound and not just sort of the best sound we can get on one instrument today. Yeah, that's a better sound. But we got the tongue position part figured out from the Besson, and now we've gotten the sound from the bigger C trumpet. So yeah, I like that sound enough. We can check it every once in a while. We'll pull this closer so I'm not far away. We're almost out of time, which is probably a good thing for me. We'll definitely end with the C rotary trumpet, though, if it will work for me. Because one of my students is playing the Wallin elegy, and the Wallin is one of my favorite things to play on the rotary trumpet. So a lot of color change ability, which is hard to do at the end of the day, but that's why we want to do it. So let's get a little bit of this etude learned. I'm going to try not to go faster than I can sound my best, which means I can't be guessing at notes. Or if I am, I just have to throw them away. I can't worry about them because then I'll change my air and that'll make my lip change, and it's all out the window at that point. Yeah, it's pretty good. It does it twice, yeah. Oh, key signature. And I know better than that. I'm never going to play that F sharp if I don't mark it. It's just never going to be there because of all the B flats, right? And this F sharp at the beginning of the next line also. Because if you look late, oh, okay, good, Dad, it's good to see you, or read you. I wish I was there. I could eat the dinner you're about to cook, because I'm sure it's going to be great. And I'd rather not cook, but I'll cook something good too. I'll send you a picture if I get anything out of it. All right. And then it goes too low for me. I'm almost done. I may as well. Sort of got a little nasally at the end. Let's try to fix that. still not my best sound, but I think after sight reading and transposing and all that, I'm okay with that. That was a good sound, and for the most of the time, it was actually one of my better sounds. So we'll leave it at that. Let's put some horns away so I don't sit on anything or knock this over on the table. That'd be a good way to destroy a horn. And I have done it before. Not destroyed, but, you know, been sad about it. All right, so let's finish it up with the rotary trumpet. Now, I usually play a different mouthpiece for this horn. And I don't know, I think I'm just going to leave it alone today. Normal mouthpiece. Let's see if the valves work. Well, almost. To turn them manually first and then with the levers. Ooh, that's really bad today. I might not be able to play this today, guys. Oh, second valve works. The first valve is the one we need to work, though, and that's what's not cooperating very well. You can see it wants to stay. It's got some gunk in there. I can feel it. I might have to. Let's play it without that. Nope. Sometimes if you play it a little bit, it'll unfreeze. Well, no, it's too bad. There's something in it. I'm going to have to take it apart. But let's play something. Since we didn't play piccolo, let's play piccolo. Sorry. And I've been working with my students a bunch on piccolo. And one of the things you want to do if you're new to piccolo, or even if you're not, but you just want to be a little bit better, make it easier on yourself, is all the same things you normally do to get coordinated on your normal trumpet, you want to do on your smaller trumpets, right? So long tones, lip slurs, scales, flexibility exercises of all kinds, and playing easy etudes, right? All of that is really good to do on the piccolo, and you start to develop some stamina for it and figure out how to play it, right? So. There's also a good link to the high C trumpet. It's very soft. I was talking about that in a lesson today, but let's see. C on E flat. That's interesting. So down a minor third. That's bad. That's a bad transposition. I don't know why I did that one. Well, I'm looking at a different etude. Let's see if we can do it on the piccolo trumpet. This is Saxa 57. Oh, this one looks fun too. Does it go up too high or too low? I guess we got an extra valve now, so I can play it. Well, we might play a couple of these. Let's do this one. So, if I can't hear it, it's going to just waste me. Let's actually learn this one. Slow practice is great on piccolo. All right. The one I was going to play was this one. There's only one bad lick so far. Let's try to learn it. hard to use your your third valve to tune C sharps on piccolo jostles you a little too much, but this looks like a fun etude. I don't know this one. This is Soxa 56. I played 55 before. I was going to play 57. It's beaten me up bad, but 56, even as technical as it is, actually doesn't feel too bad. Here's sound. Yeah, it's just the spring. It's just very clicky today. All right. I like this etude on piccolo. It's very smooth, but then it won't be, and that's kind of what a lot of like Albinoni and Corelli and Torelli stuff does. You play scales mostly, but then you'll play these really bad sort of arpeggiations of things if you're doing a transcription, and it's not for trumpet and originally, and we like that music, but you know, what's the one? That's a perfect example of like that's a bad lick. I don't even think that's the right key, actually, but this is a good training ground for that. So let's try it from the beginning. We'll try that much that we've done and see if anything holds together, including our first valve. Almost didn't make it. There's no good place to breathe. I have to figure that out. I guess before the high F, but boy, I really don't want to. Then it gets good after that, but there's a lot more left, so I might leave it at that for today. Well, thanks again. It's 5:08. We went a little over, but it was good to see some friends and some family, and it was nice. I wanted to see what would happen. I got a little lazy and didn't advertise, but then I thought, well, I wonder what happens if I don't. I wonder how many people come just because they know it's always there, you know, because I'd really like to get away from reminding everybody every week on Facebook, but I also realized I haven't reminded anybody anywhere else, so I think I do need to do like a advertisement once a week on each platform, and then that way people will remember. But it was an interesting experiment, and I wanted to try OBS. I finally figured out how to get it to work, so it seems like it worked, and hopefully it's even a little bit smoother. I'll check the stream later and see if it was, but anyway, thanks for coming, and stay tuned. If you want to play, or if you know people who might want to play, all ages are welcome. Really all instruments. I mean, I can't really help you if you play anything but trumpet, but if you just want to play for people, like that's cool, and I can help you musically too, so if you know people who want to play on a stream, this is a good place to do it. It's pretty low pressure, but it's still for people like out in the world. And you really don't know how many when you're playing, so there's a part of you that might get nervous. I certainly did the first couple of times I did this. So anyway, thanks, and thanks for interacting a bunch on the chat. And yeah, I guess I'll see you next time.